Hello, everyone. We are the group that is going to report or present the research study we chose regarding the stimulation method. But before we proceed, our research study that we chose is the efficacy of repetitive transcranial magnetic stimulation in treatment-resistant depression. And what are we going to discuss in this report or presentation? First is we will explain the assigned method briefly. Number two, we have created a summary of the research study. Next, what are the tools or the devices that they used in this research study? Fourth, how is the research study related to the method? And last is the importance of the research study. But before we proceed, let's first have a brief background of what stimulation method is, and Kyle is the one who's going to report.
So we have the stimulation method. So stimulation method is a way of studying the brain through inhibiting or activating the brain using an electricity. So there are two ways of performing stimulation method. So the first way is directly. An electrode is planted inside the brain. And the second way is indirectly or non-invasively. An electrode placed on the scalp or head or magnetic field applied on the scalp or the head. So we have examples. So the single cell recordings, transcranial magnetic stimulation, electroconvulsive therapy, and deep brain stimulation. So we also have the transcranial magnetic stimulation, or also known as TMS. So it imitates a lesion by temporarily disrupting an activity on a specific part of the brain. A coil placed on a person's head which creates a magnetic field.
As for the summary of the research or the study, it is known that depression is one of the rampant mental disorders these days that attributes to significant problems, disability, and burden of care. Neuromodulation techniques such as electroconvulsive therapy, vagus nerve stimulation, transcranial magnetic stimulation or TMS, and transcranial direct current stimulation may be helpful adjunctive treatments in depression and are generally recommended for treatment-resistant cases. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration has approved it as a treatment for major depression. TMS has been studied in several groups of the population with depression over the last 2 decades using different research designs. As for the research study, first is the RTMS. It is used or investigated for its potential therapeutic use in numerous psychiatric and physical disorders. It is also an electromagnetic coil is placed against your scalp near your forehead. The electromagnet painlessly delivers a magnetic pulse that stimulates nerve cells in the region of your brain involved in the mood control and depression. It's thought to activate regions of the brain that have decreased activity in depression. Second is the high frequency RTMS. It is thought to have a stimulating effect on the cerebral cortex, and it is widely applied treatment protocol for chronic smoking and major depressive. Mm. Third is for the low frequency RTMS. It is thought to have an inhibitory effect. And fourth is the theta burst stimulation, TBS. It is a newer modality for RTMS in which relatively greater amounts of stimulation can be delivered to the brain in a shorter span of time.
So, how is the research study related to the method? The research study is focused on the efficacy of repetitive transcranial magnetic stimulation or RTMS in treatment-resistant depression. Therefore, RTMS is primary method investigated in the study, and the effectiveness of different RTMS protocols such as high frequency and low frequency RTMS and theta burst stimulation are examined. So for the last part of our presentation, What is the importance of the study? Studying this work is crucial because more stringent design standards should be used in the future studies. For example, allocation, concealment, and blinding procedures should be disclosed in detail. Longer non-interventive follow-up periods should be used to demonstrate the long-term effectiveness of RTMS. And the sham condition should be improved to further reduce the placebo effect. For determining the ideal stimulation location, a combination with neuroimaging technology is anticipated. So, in addition to this, the study highlights the importance of disclosing allocation concealment, blinding procedures in details using longer non-interventive follow-up periods to demonstrate the long-term effectiveness of RDMS. Overall, this research contributes to the growing body of literature on the potential benefits of non-invasive brain stimulation for mental health conditions and highlights the need for further research in this area. So that would be all, and thank you, everyone.